Thank God it's a Tuesday. Hello po, August 17, 2021. Mataas pa rin ang insidente ng COVID. Sana po ay nasa mabuti tayong kalagayan at safe at healthy at malakas ang ating immune system. Ito po ang iyong lingkod, Benji Chodoro. Ako po ay isang retired bank officer na nagsimula mag-invest sa Philippine stock market noong 2007 at ginagawa ko po itong report araw-araw na sinimulan ko po noong last year, August of last year. I also report the latest news on your favorite and most active stocks. At kung gusto niyo po ng content, yung content ko, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and if you have stocks in mind na gustong ipa-review, paki-comment lang po sa comment box at aking ipa-prioritize. Ang financial news po natin ay mula sa NIKL at Double Dragon. Kasama na rin po ang financial headlines at ang resulta ng trading sa ating Philippine Stock Exchange ngayong araw, ika-17 ng Agosto, 2021, dito lamang sa The Stock Market Today. Okay po, umpisa na po natin. Okay, unahin po muna natin ang headlines. Okay, kita niyo po ba? Ang headlines po natin ay, ito po ay galing po ng BDO Nomura, and maraming salamat po sa BDO Securities para sa mga news items na ito. Okay, sa macro news, remittances grew 6.4% year-on-year to US dollars 19.4 billion in first half 2021. And then there are rising infections, according to Carlito Galvez. Lockdowns have slowed down COVID-19 vaccination. Sa sector news naman, GTCAP core profit jumps 83% year-on-year, first half 2021. FLI attributable net income during the first half of 2021 is down 21% year-on-year to 1.8 billion pesos. And then we have TEL investing on 3.9 billion pesos in Apricot subsea cable, and APC's BESS operational in 2022-2024. So, ito yung battery energy storage system ni Aboitiz Power. Okay, so now we have the headlines. Let's go to our particular news item na gusto nating i-focus. At ito po ay tungkol sa Double Dragon and other listed firms post games from the business world. 3 listed companies chaired by Edgar Injapsia posted profit and revenue gains in the first semester, according to separate regulatory filings on Monday, ahead of what he called coming positive cycle post-pandemic. Our whole team will continue to be relentless in our pursuit to make all the business units and brands under Merrimart Consumer Corp, Double Dragon Properties Corp, well-loved household brands serving all its stakeholders and for both to become major contributors to our economy in the years to come, Mr. Sia said in a Merrimart statement. Double Dragon saw its core net income for the first 6-month period surge by 543 year-on-year. That's 543% year-on-year to 3.72 billion as consolidated revenues inched up by nearly 2% to 2.69 billion, excluding one-off fair value gains. The listed real estate developer said its recurring revenues also grew to 1.99 billion for the first semester, up by 5.96% from 1.88 billion. This was due to the almost 6% growth in rental income to 1.71 billion from 1.61 billion in the same period last year. We are determined to cause Double Dragon to soon become an active contributor in the rebuilding of our new economy and to become a major beneficiary in the next coming positive cycle post this unprecedented global pandemic, Mr. Sia said in a Double Dragon statement. Its 43 commercial centers across the country are said to maintain an 89.58% occupancy rate as most of its leasable space in city malls cater to essential services like supermarket, pharmacies, clinics, and banks. Meanwhile, the company said rooms in hotel 101 Manila was 92.93% occupied in the first semester. Its real estate investment trust office portfolio, on the other hand, has maintained a 97.72% occupancy rate. The company said the office sector continues to be stable. Okay? So that's our news item. Okay, meron pa pala ditong isa. Let's read this one paragraph here. In a separate disclosure, listed DDMP REIT Inc. said it generated a net income of 1.84 billion in the second quarter, up by nearly fourfold quarter on quarter from 399.65 million. Its rental and KUSA, or common use service area income, inched up by 7.69% to 547.7 million from 547.7 million in the previous quarter. Di ba pareho lang yun? 547.7 and 547.7, parang may mali doon. Parang kung bagay, zero dapat yung increase or decrease niyan eh. Di ba? Kasi pareho yung figure. Anyway, meanwhile, Double Dragon will be ending the year with 1.2 million square meters of leasable space under its portfolio following the completion of Central Hub Tarlac's Phase 3. The development added 10,646 square meters to its portfolio. Listed grocery operator Merrymark said its consolidated net income posted a 20.09% growth to 16.4 million in the first half of the year, up from its 13.67 million profit logged in the same period last year. Merrymark's consolidated revenues, on the other hand, went up by 12.34% to 1.84 billion from 1.64 billion. Okay, so that's our news item, and we'll be featuring Double Dragon REIT, and Merrymark in our technical review later. Okay, so we also have one item which is NIKL, and this is the request of Mike Miguel, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's Mike Miguel. So sorry Mike na hindi umabot yesterday. Nakita ko kasi yung post mo natapos ko na yung video, but babawi ako today. Okay? Our second news item will be on NIKL Asia. Pero ito, August 6 pa po ito August 6 pa po ito from the business world. NIKL Asia earns 12.7 billion on higher core sales. Wala po kasi akong study on NIKL Asia, yung fundamentals niya. But perhaps the news item on NIKL Asia dated August 6, medyo bago pa ito, would suffice. Okay? So sabi dito, NIKL Asia incurred a 579 increase in its attributable net income for the first 6 months of the year to 2.73 billion due to stronger ore sales prices and sales volume. The listed mining firm said in a stock exchange disclosure on Thursday that its attributable net income for January to June period is an improvement from the 401.43 million attributable net income it had the same period a year ago. So maganda ang fundamentals nito, no? Kasi merong about more than 5 times increase sa kanyang net income, ano? NIKL Asia's revenues for the period reached 11.03 billion, up 66.1% from 6.64 billion recorded in 2020. From the total sale of ore and limestone revenues accounted for 10.35 billion, followed by services and other revenues at 433.44 million. The revenues from sale of power at 247.87 million. The company sold a total of 8.3 million wet metric tons at a weighted average realized price of $25.47 per WMT, that's wet metric tons, in the first half of 2021, compared to 7.3 WMT at $16.02 per WMT or wet metric tons in the same period last year. Ano kayong wet metric tons? Ano? Ipapapa ito sa metric tons na walang wet. Okay, earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization, or EBITDA rose 157% to 5.34 billion from 2.08 billion a year ago, while operating expenses also went up 46% to 2.58 billion compared to 1.76 billion in 2020. So that's good news for NAC, NIKL Asia Corp. And later on, let's take a look at NIKL Asia and their technicals, And let's now take a look at the happenings in the Philippine Stock Exchange and the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. Okay, the PSEI gained 47.73 points or 0.73% up. So it's good news for the second consecutive day ay up ang ating index. And yung ating short-term indicator, yung EMA20, is very close to the closing price. Yung EMA20 natin is 65.25, whereas yung ating index ended at 65.61.41. Medyo mataas ng konti yung EMA20, pero very close na po yan. So, ibig sabihin po ay on the short term ay naka-recover na po yung ating index based dito sa ating short-term indicator. However, the price of or the index ending at 65.61 is still lower than our EMA50 and our EMA100, which means that we are not yet out of the woods. On the market summary naman, 97 companies advanced, 98 declined, while 50 remained unchanged. The all-share index also gained 0.48% or 19.31 points. Meanwhile, the sectoral indices were in the green or are in the green except for mining, which lost 0.04%. So yun lang po ang down. Pero the other sectoral indices are up, and this was led by properties at 1.26%. So sa market status, we'll be reviewing your request plus the companies which figured in our news today. So we will be reviewing NIKL, Double Dragon, DDMPR, Merrimart, GTCAP, FLI, TEL, and AP. Okay, so let's review them. Let's start with NIKL. Okay, NIKL. Medyo mababa siya. Although good naman yung earnings report niya, positive siya, 308%. But it appears to be a bit bearish on the short term as our indicators are above. Pero yung ating blue line, which is our medium term, the EMA50, is still above the indicator, and this appears to be our support. So lagay natin yan as our support, yung EMA50, dahil yan po, Kasi if you look to the left side, ay magkakaroon po tayo ng yung resistance dito ay naging support. At if you look nearby, is that there are opening and closing prices which are nearing or near the support. Okay po? So yan po yung NIKL, which is, I would say, on the short term, it's bearish, but on the long term ay mukhang okay pa rin siya. Dahil yung indicators natin are still below our candlestick. Okay? And then Double Dragon. So for a while ay naging, pababa si Double Dragon. So you will see yung trend, Yung trend po natin ay pagka ganito po nakikita natin na trend na the candlesticks are below our indicators, yung orange line followed by the blue, followed by the black, yan po ay may bearish trend. Although sabi ni Double Dragon ay kumita daw siya, ang sinasabi dito sa net income ay negative 10.51%, meaning it's slightly lost based dito sa Instagrams, Pero nagbigay siya ng dividend, meaning na kumikita siya. Okay? May kita siya. So the net income is just probably maliit lang yung loss niya, and that is why they were able to give additional dividends. Okay, so that's Double Dragon. Tingnan na natin. Bearish po siya, no? I-compare po natin sa ibang stocks, no? Like, say for example, compare natin sa Converge. Opposite naman makikita natin dyan. Di ba? Ayan, no? Tingnan nyo. It's the opposite of the Double Dragon, wherein our indicators are below. Nauna yung orange line nearest the candlestick, followed by the blue, followed by the black. No? Ibig sabihin, bullish po ang Converge. Pero yung Double Dragon, i-compare po natin, baliktad. Baliktad po siya. It is over the candlestick, yung the indicators. The first nearest the candlesticks is the orange line, which is our short term, followed by blue. The blue meaning the medium term, and black, ito yung long term. So bearish po itong Double Dragon na ito. And I think the nearest, sabihin na natin yung nearest resistance niya nandito po, sa 10.9. Now when I talk of support and resistance, ito po ay isang area at hindi po ito exact point. Ano po? So yung next resistance level ni Double Dragon ay nandito po sa 1236. Meanwhile, ang support niya ay support na po ito, itong closing price na itong 1020. So hindi po yan exact points, no? Ito po ay isang area. And then DDMPR. Wow, nag-gain si DDMPR. Yan. So meron siyang dividend, so 2.7 centavos per share, medyo maliit lang, ano? And well, there is a slight increase in the volume. Yan po, no? Ito po kasi yung average, yung shadow na ito eh. Pero umakyat lang siya ng konti, konting-konti lang. And I would say this is significant, ano? This is not so significant. Ang significant volume, tulad nito, yan, significant volume po yan. Yung green, yan po, yan lang nakikita ko significant volume eh. Ito, yung green dito, yan po. Significant volume po yan. Pero ito ay halos the same lamang po ng average, ano? Slightly better than the average. Kaya po yung DDMPR, yung support niya po nandito sa 1.75 or 1 peso 75 centavos, while resistance on the short term would be here at 1 peso and 84 centavos. And then Merrimart, so mga kumpanya ng India po yung tinitingnan natin. Ano po? Yan. Bearish to sideways po ito. Ang formation niya, support is at 311. Resistance is here at 883. Again, support and resistance area po ito, no? Hindi po to exact point. At bearish to sideways po ang movement ni Merrimart. Then we have GTCAP. GTCAP is an index stock. So, associated holding company po ng Metro Bank. Yan, red candlestick din po. And it's consolidating at this level with support here at 524 to 525. While the nearest resistance on the short term is here at 548 to 550 po ang nearest resistance ni GTCAP. And then FLI medyo hindi maganda yung income niya. So bumaba siya. So 9.88% lang yung increase niya. But this appears to be moving sideways as our indicators are piercing through the candlestick. Nearest support dito po sa 110, and the nearest resistance on the short term is here at 113. So very narrow lang po yung support and resistance niya. Yung second resistance po nandito po sa 116 to 117. So that's FLI. And then TEL, nag-improve ba kaya si TEL? Okay, bumaba si TEL, ano? So actually it's just moving sideways, bearish to sideways po ang kanyang movement, with support is here. Nearest support is 1250 or 1250. And another support level after that would be 12.27 to 12.28. Meron po siyang dividends of 42 and meron siyang earnings. So maganda naman ang earnings niya, pero hindi talaga maganda yung market sentiment sa telco na ito, no? So ito yung resistance po niya, nandito sa 12.78 to 12.80, yung nearest resistance on the short term. And then finally, we have Aboitiz Power. Okay, Aboitiz Power appears to have gone over the slump, no? Kasi under the candlestick na po siya, no? And it, well, tingnan lang po natin in the next few days dahil this appears to be piercing pa rin, but the closing price now looks encouraging since it closed higher than our indicators, no? Pero kung makita po natin na another green candlestick po yan, ay maaaring nagbago na po yung trend. Maganda naman po yung revenues niya, 92.97% based on the previous earnings report, ano? At nearest support is here. Ito po, 22.96. And nearest resistance would be here sa 24.50 to 24.60. Yan po ang ating report sa stock market ika-17 ng Agosto. Mag-ingat sa COVID, mag-ingat sa scam. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Ito po si Benji Chodoro. Nagpapasalamat sa inyong pagtangkilik. Hanggang sa muli, God bless and bye for now.